The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.
What is freedom? I think I stole this from Bob Dylan, but maybe I stole this from Woody Guthrie. Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Site Review Tuesday. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I want to say thank you for joining me. Now, here in a minute, we're going to get to reviewing one of your websites, and I do want to point out that while this has been pre-recorded, I'm hanging out in the chat, interacting with you guys live and answering your questions. Now, if you're interested in having your website reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your site. And in addition to getting a site review, I also offer a one-on-one session to each photographer who has had a site review done to help them answer any questions or assist in making any changes that they may want to make. Now, don't forget, we also live stream every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, so I hope to see you there.
Hello, my friends. This is Katie from Zenfolio Customer Support, bringing you another Zenfolio site review for Site Review Tuesday. Now, these are live site reviews, meaning we're going to go all the way through this user's site and see how they're using the Zenfolio built-in tools and offer helpful tips and critiques along the way. As you know, if you've joined us before, this review has been pre-recorded, but we're going to be hanging out with you guys in chat to get your feedback and find out what you think along the way as we go through today, vedrantolets.com, and I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, Vedran. But I hope that you'll be patient with me. While I do have some ancestry in that part of the world, in the Czech Republic, I unfortunately do not speak Croatian. So we're going to make our way through Vedran's site, which is going to have some familiar pages, even if you don't speak Croatian. We're going to go into some galleries, we're going to find out more about the photographer, the blog, and look at the contact page. So the first thing we're looking at here is Vedran's homepage. We've got some really strong images here on the homepage, and Vedran is using one of the built-in layout options that are available specifically for Zenfolio homepages. This is a well-culled gallery. It's a dynamic and diverse gallery that's being used here for the homepage content. You get an immediate sense not just of the photographer's aesthetic, but the range. So there's some travel photography, looks like some engagement photography, product photography, and a few different genres that are featured right here on the homepage. So really effective use of the homepage slideshow and using one of those special homepage layouts. So I really like this layout. I really like these images. I'd say this is a very successful homepage. We got some social media links here, helpful search bar, And let's go ahead and start digging into the site. So it looks like we're going to galleries first. So on Vedran's site, galleries is leading straight to his all photographs group. So this is the group that houses all of the galleries on a Zenfolio user site. It might be useful or worthwhile just to remove these breadcrumbs here from this page. You can always go right here to get back home. So having the breadcrumbs here on the gallery page is not really necessary, since you can get right back to the home page either from this homepage link or from the display name in the top left-hand corner. But I really love all of these cover thumbnail images, some very effective thumbnail images. Just like that gallery featured on the home page, you can see that there's quite a range here that Vedran is shooting. But one thing I might recommend would be maybe to split some of these galleries into different groups so that it's a little bit more genre specific. Then what you can do is have galleries as a drop-down menu leading to these different groups. So you might have a drop-down menu for travel, you might have a drop-down menu for sports, portraiture, newborns, and those kinds of things. And the reason I think this might be useful in this specific case is that there are quite a lot of different genres being featured here, and someone who's looking for someone to shoot their newborn might not necessarily be that interested in, artful nudes. So just something to consider as far as optimizing the tools that you have available via the site menu and those organizational tools on the back end of your Zenfolio site. But first and foremost, Zenfolio sites are meant to feature photographs, and there are some really beautiful photographs. So we definitely get the impression, no matter how this page is set up, that Vedran is a very capable photographer. But maybe we just want to see photos of Bangkok, and going to galleries, travel might be a bit easier than having to dig through that entire group. So, really love these images. Travel photography is one of my favorite genres. But there are definitely some ways of kind of getting an update on the view of this gallery. And I would say this for most of the pages on this site as well, where it looks a little dated in the sense that this is one of the older Zenfolio themes, and it's got static fixed thumbnails for the pages. So experimenting in customized view with things like dynamic thumbnails for the grids and different, even built-in themes can mean with just a few clicks, you can make some pretty significant updates to the aesthetics and the view of your Zenfolio site. So just something to consider, not a deal breaker, but it's my honest appreciation of the site. So I do like the use of something like pagination here on these galleries that include a good bit of images. It's nice to have those load a little bit more quickly in most cases, so I do like the use of pagination here. Look at this guy. What wonderful things you must have seen in your life, Vedran. Look at this wonderful panda. So here, what we can see is that this is leading from the gallery back to home. In this case, it might actually be useful to display your breadcrumbs so that you could easily, as a visitor to the site, get back to the gallery without having to go back in the browser. Because as it is now, maybe I want to get back just one level rather than just going back to the gallery. Just something to consider, since that all photographs group is hidden here in the breadcrumbs. So what you won't know if you don't speak Croatian is that this is set to this next site menu item, which I won't even try to pronounce, probably says weddings in Croatian. Since this leads to a site that is not vedrantolets.com, it's going to be set to open in a new browser window, if you like. This is one thing that I definitely like to recommend to users when doing these site reviews is that if you have linked text or linked site menu items that lead away from your main site, it's good to have those open in a new browser tab so that someone doesn't have to go back in the browser. This is because, if they go from the main site to the wedding site and they're clicking around all over the wedding site, they may not see the option to go back in their browser history to the correct page, and it may have been lost. And then they may not be able to find your page again without digging through their browser history. It's just a helpful thing you can do. So just something to consider. Maybe just setting this wedding site menu item to open in a new browser tab or window. So this reference site menu item leads to another use of evergreen blog posts, which you may recognize from our previous site review of Vedran Tolets' weddings website. So what's being done here is that a blog post is created, and then the link to that specific post is what's being linked to here in the site menu. And this is great if you've updated your blog with content that is always going to be relevant. So, great way of offering information, including lots of good text. It's good for your SEO. And got some helpful social media buttons here. And if this is not the kind of thing that requires comments, maybe worth looking into maybe disabling the comments. Just something to consider. Also, maybe even getting rid of this date or copying the source code from the blog post and creating a new custom page. Would love to know what you guys think of in chat. Do you like the evergreen blog post strategy, or do you think it's better to have a custom page? I think that this is a great way of implementing tools that might be available on the blog but not on a custom page, like these social media icons, the RSS feed, subscribe, that sort of thing. So as you can see, Vedran is regularly updating his blog. It's very nice to look through an archive and see so many posts. So definitely good to have that archive linked there, whether it's on the blog itself or in this evergreen blog content. So we're going to go on here to this next site menu item, which is the About for the photographer. So built-in About page has been not used in lieu of this evergreen blog post. So again, maybe not useful to have that date on there, but some really great information here and great info included in the keywords and really lovely portrait. So we'll go in here to the blog page. And again, you can see that lots of different genres and types of shoots are being covered here. I would even consider maybe looking into your options for how many posts can be displayed on the blog summary page. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you can have up to 15 blog posts displayed in the same format on the same page. So that's something that you might want to consider, especially since there's such a variety of content being covered here. Maybe someone arrives at the blog, but none of these genres are particularly relevant on that first summary page. By showing more blog posts at a time, someone who's maybe more interested in something that they wouldn't be able to get to until they're all the way here on this last page, maybe looking at some tech product photography or something of that nature, having more blog posts showing, it could be a reasonable update to the blog. So we'll go on here to the contact page. And you'll see that here we have finally arrived at the information on where Vedran is located. So if you're in Croatia, Vedran might be a great photographer for you. But if you're just stumbling on the site, what if you're elsewhere? Like if I had been in Prague in the Czech Republic and was looking for a photographer, maybe this site would have come up and I would have gotten all excited looking at these images. Finally, I found exactly the photographer I want to work with, but I'm going to have to take the train to Croatia. Might be something that's useful to include on your homepage. What do you guys think in chat? Do you find that featuring information about your location earlier in a site menu item or on the home page is useful? Would love to know what you think. But got some social media icons here, some great info, contact information. These are all great things to have included on your contact page. And we've got also a built-in search page. Pretty basic, but it gets the job done. So, just as a quick overview, let's go back through Vedran's site. So, again, great images here on the home page for the slideshow. I also didn't mention this along the way, but as you can see in this last image, Vedran is using tools like photo editing software prior to uploading his images to create these cool diptychs and triptychs and other kinds of grids for his photos. So that's one way around dealing with things like cropping on vertical images for a full screen homepage slideshow. So Vedran definitely is using the tools at his disposal to great benefit and implementing those tools on Zenfolio. Also, great use of that specific homepage layout. Going here into the galleries, again, looking at things like updating the theme or even selecting a layout that allows for dynamic thumbnail grids. These kinds of small changes can make a big difference. Doesn't have to take a lot of time. You don't have to dig into Theme Designer and change every single element, but it could be a nice way of giving the site a little facelift so that the site itself looks as clean and beautiful and modern as these photos. As we know, this will lead us to Vedran's wedding Zenfolio site, toleadsweddings.com, which you may have caught last week. But it can definitely be a great idea if you're covering lots of different genres to open a second account. Please do get in touch with Zenfolio customer support if you're interested in opening a second account for a specific genre or to split your business up a little bit. Customer support will be happy to give you a discount on your first year for that second account. So, reference and about pages are again going to be that evergreen blog content. Really clever use of the tools at your disposal. Great looking blog, useful tools like search, and Vedran's got a lot of great things going in his site. Just a few little updates here and there make a big difference. But as we know, the most important thing, being on top of your photography game, he's got it down. So thank you guys for joining me, and we'll catch you next week.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching that site review. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we post videos and when we go live. Now, if you're interested in having your site reviewed, there's a link in the description below this video where you can submit your website for that. And in addition to getting a site review, you're also going to get a link where you can schedule a session with me. We're going to go over your website, go over the review. I'll answer any questions that you have and help you make any changes that you're interested in making. So the link to sign up for that is in the description below this video. Now, don't forget Zenfolio Live coming up this Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you guys there. Until then, I hope you have a great week.